was a nice lift back there. But you got a lot to learn.
Crap.
You stick with me and I'll teach you a few things.
No offense, but I don't even know you.
My friends call me Sully.
Hello and welcome back to Square One Games. My name is Xonovan and this is my brutal difficulty run for Chapter 6, Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. Just go ahead and stealth kill that guy and then take out the guy with the RPG, but don't pick up the RPG, okay? I know that intuitively you're like, oh, it's an RPG, I can kill a bunch of people with it, but, and you probably can, but you want to get over here as fast as possible. You see how all these enemies are starting to flood the map, right? If you're over there with the RPG and you're doing your thing, yes, you can get some kills, but it's going to be harder to get over here, okay? And if the quicker you can position yourself right here, the enemy will understand that you're over here. You see what I'm saying? And that's exactly what you want. The reason why I like this spot, and you're going to see a prime example of that right now. Look how the enemy's flanking me, but they're not shooting at me. Both of those shotgun rounds were meant to shoot at Chloe. So I'm kind of using Chloe as a blocker. And I do that a lot when brutal, right? A lot of times you can use the NPCs as blockers for you. It's kind of like a moving wall. You know what I mean? A moving piece of cover. Because that's just the way that this game works. And that's kind of good. I like the fact that the enemies will tend to shoot at your NPCs in this game. I think that adds a level of realism to it, right? And so now I'm feeling really protected. Now this dude right here is trying to flank me, so I go ahead and take him out. You don't want anybody flanking you on the right hand side if Chloe's not between you and them. You see what I'm saying? So when she pushed out, I said, okay, I gotta watch my right hand side. Now the good thing is that once you kill enough enemies, your right side will be 100% protected. So they're never really gonna come at you on that right hand side again once you've thinned them out. And I know at this point that they're not gonna push me anymore on the right hand side. So now I'm gonna start using my shoulder lean mechanic to get my kills. And I'm telling you, there's some wicked angles you can get right here. I'm showing you that now. Be careful, the spot that I just showed you up there on the monument, they like to go there. There's basically 1, 2, 3, 4 different positions they can put themselves from this piece of cover, and I'm gonna show you all of them. So anytime that you feel like there's still enemies on the map, then you just want to check these specific points and you'll be able to get your kills. Now sometimes there's a piece of rubble that you can't see, and I don't think I showed in this clip, but right now I don't know if I'm standing on it or I'm not standing on it, but I know that if you're doing the opposite of what I'm doing right now, so let's say that I was just standing on the piece of rubble, you want to not be standing on the rubble and you can actually see those enemies. Otherwise you're going to see that brick jutting out, but you can shoot through that brick. You see what I'm saying? So, and like I said, I don't know if I'm standing. You see, like right now, I can see his face where a second ago I couldn't. So, I don't know if you want to back up a little bit or move forward a little bit, but you can get that magic angle where you can actually see the enemy, right? But if you can't see him, they're there. So just shoot through the brick, and you're still gonna get that angle. Now I'm watching this dude. This is another spot they like to go right there. See, they're gonna be there. They're gonna be behind the cover on the left. That concrete wall, that's the 2 points over there, or these 2 statues, you know, either one of those. And the 5th point is going to be in the doorway, and look how perfectly that lines up. There he is. Look at this. Bam. So I mean, you're 100% right here, unless you just come too far out of cover, right? Which is possible. You may get killed, but other than that, you should be fine. I think I took a couple of shots earlier on in this clip, but that's because when I was trying to aim down sight and get my aim down and stuff, I was just out of cover too much. That was my fault. But if you stay pretty close to the wall and just do your shoulder lean mechanic, you're not going to have an issue. Now, there's a lot of enemies. I mean, a ton. And what you're going to realize is that, and you're going to know this in the game, because like right now, I know that there's not a lot of enemies left because I don't really hear a lot of gunfire, so I'm feeling pretty confident about moving up. And a lot of times that's going to either make more of them come out, or you're going to realize, you know what, they're all dead. I don't know a number. Like I can't tell you like how many enemies you're going to have to kill. I'm sure that if you watch this clip, you'll be able to know, because I am going to show you guys the checkpoint here in a second. There's going to be an event where a truck is going to come out of the back of the map and Chloe is going to say something about reinforcements. That's the checkpoint. When you hear that, you're at the checkpoint. Okay. So you're just trying to kill enough enemies right here and progress into the map enough to where you hear that. And I would, well, I mean, I'm not saying you can't continue, because you can. If you wait till the reinforcements come out and you come right back here where I am, you'll be able to continue doing the same trick, okay? But I would honestly urge you to just restart your checkpoint. And I'll show you in a second what I mean by that. Because there's going to be some enemies that flood out of the right of the map, where I'm standing right now to your right. And if you still have this angle, they're going to be hard to kill. The truck enemies, not hard to kill. But if you're sitting here killing the enemies that are coming out of the truck, which is fine, but then the enemies start coming from the right, it's very easy for them to flank you. So right there, you just saw me hit the checkpoint, okay? So I killed all that wave of enemies, then I moved up. Chloe said, hey, here's the truck, whatever. I just restarted my checkpoint. So I'm right here. I'm just gonna bomb these dudes. Feel free to use all the grenades you need to use. Remember, grenades are your friend. There's no point in you hanging on to them. There's more right there, so I just picked those up. Make sure all those enemies are dead, and then you want to kill the guy in the truck. Now, your instinct is going to tell you to get on that minigun. Don't go for the minigun. Very easy to die, okay? You just want to use your shoulder lean mechanic and see if you can get some angles. A lot of times, these guys will already be coming into this monument area, which is what you want, okay? And the reason why they're coming to the monument area is because that's where Chloe is. Remember, if Chloe is in between you and the enemy, they tend to go for Chloe. So you've got to keep that in mind when you're positioning yourself in these combat areas. Really with any of the NPCs. Because if you can ever put them in between you and the enemy, you have a moving wall, okay? And they're just a bullet sponge. And you can see right now that they're really, like that dude on the right is really shooting at her. He's not shooting at me. And so all I'm just doing is sitting down there cleaning up, getting my headshots, right? So anytime you can put the NPCs between you and the enemy, you're in a good position. All right, so this is the next combat sequence. All you want to do is just go and grenade these two guys, okay, and just take them out. Very simple, but I did want to show it. It is easy to die there, so just get behind that column and kill them and you'll be good. This is right after the hanging sequence. I like to get right here and just shoot the propane tank. That'll automatically kill that dude. And then you can just get you some mad blind fire on these guys, right? There's going to be another guy that's going to flash through the door, waiting on him. A lot of times if you throw a grenade there, like that one actually hit him and bounced off in front, but sometimes if you can get the grenade to go like behind him, there's another guy, that dude. And if that guy's rushing you, you can actually get a double kill, but if not, you can just blind fire the dude on the stairs and take him out. Just like that. Now the next combat area is pretty simple. This is right when you're coming through the doorway. Just go ahead and you don't really have to go into your cover mechanic. Just make sure that you got your gun up, and if you've got a shotty, that's going to be your best bet right there. You can throw a grenade here if you want to and kill this dude, but sometimes if you hit this propane tank, you can actually kill him or at least stun him. So I would suggest doing that because that just saves you a grenade. And I don't feel bad about picking out a cover there because he's the only enemy. Okay, this next sequence, just make sure you're aiming down, wait for these dudes to drop in, make sure both of them drop in, right, and then get your propane tank to explode. If it doesn't kill him, just keep your gun up, right, because sometimes the propane tank will not kill the dudes with armor, and just be ready to get that second shot. This is a little bit tricky. Honestly, you may die here. I tried this a bunch of different times. It's easy to kill all the enemies because you can just toss grenades, but getting from the sign, or the wood I should say, over to the building, I don't know. You can do it because you can wait for the chopper to maneuver in a certain way so that you can hop over. My suggestion though is just to not waste time and just get over there. If you touch that building, you're going to be at a checkpoint. So just get over there. I'm going to leave this death in there because it's just going to spawn me right back in anyway. So just don't make that harder than it needs to be, right? Just take the death. If you make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't. Make sure to kill those guys right there quickly. Don't let them flood into the map because once this chopper starts moving around, it's too much to think about, right? Because they're going to be flanking you on the left and right hand sides, and you're going to have to be worried about killing them. Chloe's going to be getting in your way. Now, like I said earlier, you do want Chloe to kind of be that moving shield for you, but if she's using the same cover that you're using, and you're trying to go back and forth, and obviously if you hit O at any point, you come out of cover, well, that's going to get you killed. She's going to get in your way. And if she's in your way and you're worried about the chopper and people are flanking on the left and right, it just gets chaotic. So just kill those guys as quick as you possibly can and then book it toward this opening drop down And you know, there's going to be a little cutscene right here. I'm going to skip through that and show you where the checkpoint starts. Just go ahead and use this as a piece of cover. You may not know this, that you can turn tables over like that and use them as cover. They come in handy in other chapters too. Wait for the explosion on the back wall. Okay, there's no need for you to fire your gun initially here, because that explosion is going to damage some of the enemies and possibly even kill them. Just depends on where they are in the map, and that way you're not wasting a lot of ammo. And then just blind fire. The blind fire to me in this game is way more accurate than in Drake's Fortune. At least that's the way I feel about it, right? I can't prove that, there's no science to it, but I feel like I can blind fire at much more of the distance in this game than I could in Drake's Fortune and actually get shots on the enemy. Wait for the gunfire of the chopper. Notice how I'm moving up after the chopper's gunfire. I'm waiting, and then I'm pushing. You see what I'm saying? I just go from cover to cover till I get right here. The great thing about this position is that it forces the enemies to spawn in, and the only time you get shot is if you're actually blind fire shooting when the chopper is shooting. You saw I got shot there, right? But if I'm not shooting right now, it can't hurt me. I'm completely protected. Waiting for the gunfire to end, then I'm gonna come right here to this piece of cover. You can't be shot by the chopper here, so don't worry about that. This is just gonna be your typical blind fire cover sequence. Whatever guns you have, use what you got. You can actually destroy that dude's cover if he's getting on your nerves. A lot of times Chloe will do it for you. That's another thing too. When you have a non-playable character, a lot of times they'll shoot the enemy and stagger them. That's a great opportunity to get some shots now. So this is your next checkpoint, and notice right there that I rolled. Okay, I rolled and then I slid behind cover. I've tried every possible scenario to get out of that checkpoint, spawn in, and I'm telling you, I can't find another way. The only way that I know where I do not die is if I roll and then slide. That's the only way I know that I can do it. I've tried it a ton of times. I'm not saying it's not possible to do it another way, but that to me is one of the best ways to get out of there. Now, this room plays out funny. And like I said, I'm probably gonna replay this clip a couple times, maybe even in slow motion, so you can see exactly what's going on, because it's so hectic. There's only there's 3 enemies initially, and then there's 3 more enemies after the chopper, you know, blows up the wall. So there's only 6 dudes. It seems like it would be easy, and the first 3 guys you can take out behind cover, so no big deal, right? Well, the thing is that with the second wave of guys, there is no cover. You can't get behind cover. You can for a second, but as soon as the chopper does the 2 missile strikes, cover is no more, because the cover starts falling with the mechanics of the building, right, with the physics of the building. So the only way that I know of, and I've tried a lot of different scenarios to get through this, and the only way that I know of to get through it where it's repeatable is the guy that I'm showing you right now in the corner. Take him out first. Okay, this does 2 things. It eliminates an enemy, which is always good, but it puts you on the other side of the combat area where Chloe is in between you and the enemies. We've talked about this, right? So puts you in a good position. Now you're noticing that I am not shooting this dude. I am melee killing this guy. Okay, either hop on his back, get a ninja kill on him, or just punch him to death. Do what you got to do, right? Do it quick. But I find that if I can melee attack this dude, I guess the other enemies on the map focus on Chloe because she's shooting at them, and I guess that they're more attracted to gunfire, right? So they're going to be focused on her. Now, as soon as you kill him, I think they realize that you're on the map. So it's not like you have infinite time. It's not like you can just kill that dude and then just stand over there in the corner and nobody touches you. I've tried that. Trust me, it doesn't work. At least it never worked for me. So what I find is that if I melee kill that guy and then I immediately fire on the other 2 dudes, you just got to kill him quick, right? Kill him as fast as you can. Then you're good to go. You're going to take some damage, and I'm not saying that it's 100% foolproof. This is just an absolute crazy room. There's a couple of different sequences in this game that do this to you. The train sequence comes to mind. I'll have a video on that. It gets wild, okay? Between the spawns and the amount of hits it takes to kill you, sometimes it just gets crazy. And as much as I would like to provide a 100% strategy in those type of combat sequences, sometimes you just can't do it. Sometimes it's gonna require a little bit of finesse and a little bit of luck. And but this is the only strategy that I know of that I could repeat, that I could duplicate more than once. All the other strategies, if I were, if I was able to get through that sequence one time, I couldn't do it twice. You see what I'm saying? So just keep all that in mind, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. But with all that said, let's move into the next combat sequence. All right, so when you get here, go ahead and head over here to this piece of cover. Grab you some ammo and some grenades, and you really just want to use your grenades here. Now, there are a lot of propane tanks over there if you can get a lucky shot, but like I said, if you're going to peek out of cover, you're going to be exposing yourself to enemy gunfire. So you only want to do that. Like right now, there's only one enemy on the map, so I feel more confident about peeking out of cover and killing one dude, maybe two. But if there's 3+ guys on the map, you never want to peek out of cover. There's a good chance you're going to die. So use your propane tanks, throw grenades on propane tanks, right? But just make sure you take all those dudes out before you come out of cover. When you get over here, there's going to be an M32. Make sure you grab that. And I think I grab it here in just a second. There we go. And then make sure you take these dudes out. I like the M32 here just because there's going to be lots of ammo and it's one-shot kills. You know, like I said, there's 4 dudes down there. So if I'm peeking out with a gun, I don't feel as confident. But if I can just throw down something that's explosive and kill them, then I don't mind doing it. And I think there was probably 4 dudes down there, so just make sure they're all dead. And this is your checkpoint for the chopper, right? You're gonna be, this is again one of those crazy spots where if you die or something crazy happens during the chopper sequence, it's gonna spawn you in on top of the rooftop looking at the chopper completely exposed. So you immediately wanna run straight ahead and get cover and grab your M32 again and get busy. You may miss some shots here, but don't worry about it. The ammo just keeps coming in, like it keeps spawning in. So pretty much infinite M32 ammo here. There is going to be some guys that flood in here in just a second, so you do have to be cautious of that. And I would still suggest just using your M32 on those guys. And that's really what I'm waiting on now. I'm trying to stay on this side of cover, trying to wait on those dudes, and I just saw them coming out, so I'm going to try to get an M32 round off there. Remember, you're just trying to shoot at the wall. You're not really trying to shoot it at the enemy. A lot of times the explosive damage is really what you're looking for. Although if you can get lucky enough to hit an enemy, you'll kill them. I think I'm out of M32 now, so I can't use it. No, I still got some. I think it's because I knew that guy was going to be rushing me. And if you pop an M32 on somebody in blind fire, a lot of times you'll hit the wall or they're too close. And when the explosive round hits them, it hurts you. So I just switched to my gun. Once those dudes are dead, it's all about the chopper. All you have to do is make sure that you always have something between you and the chopper and you're good. And what it does is it keeps going to the same spots over and over and over again, right? So it's just about timing and when to know you can come out of cover. I think at this point, I have to make a run, so I'm waiting until the end of his gunfire. Everything's on a timer, so just listen. Listen to the way that the chopper shoots the gun, right? And then that's when you're gonna know it's gonna be cool to make a move. As it moves, you move. You never want to stay in the same position. Now, a second ago when I was on the other side of the wall and it just kept moving right and left, obviously at that point you can stay in the same position. But when you're over here with it, if you see it move, you want to move. You see what I'm saying? And that's kind of the law here. Right there, it kind of confused me because I thought it was gonna go to the other side of the map, but it didn't. And then that's it. So as long as you can keep your composure right there, the 2 guys honestly is really what throws that sequence off. Make sure you kill them. And like I said, anytime the chopper moves, you move with it, right? Kind of like a little dance, and you should be good to go. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you right back here in the next chapter. You guys be good.